take 3 deep breaths. Now, while you're doing that, do a couple of big yawns. I know, it's contagious. You're going to yawn too. Did you realise if you take 3 deep breaths and 2 big yawns, this releases the right neurochemicals in your brain and you relax. And then if you add, drop your arms and just shake your hands out a bit. Bit of a shake, that's right. Let all the tension out. And then just simply drop your head to the side. Just roll it around a little bit. Oh, crack, crack. You see, these simple things make a huge difference to our level of ease, to reduce the stress and to increase the ability to relax. And I want to talk to you about some great ideas on how to control your environment. Little things that you can do that just make life work. And I believe that sometimes we forget to do the basics. Like we go to all the complex new ideas instead of come back to the basics, do the things that build a good platform for daily successful living, and just find out how good you can feel and travel through life when you're doing the basics. So, how often do you have a deep breath? Well, of course, those that go exercising, they end up panting. But if you're not doing any significant exercise that is a strain on your heart, then you consciously need to practice regularly 3 deep breaths. So while I'm talking to you, please just do the 3 deep breaths and take a couple of yawns and allow yourself to ease your body into a zone that's so receptive to learning. You won't go to sleep. You will actually feel more able and capable to receive new information. So you ready? That was point 1. Now, point number 2 is something that's very simple. That is, we need to keep one clear space in our life. Now, of course, some people can't live without a whole clean, clear house. But if that's not you, then you just need to find one clear space. A space where you can go and sit, where there's not clutter, where you're not distracted by everything. Everyone needs a prayer chair, a chair where it's just comfortable, you go sit. And it's nice if it looks out onto the green, because we know that looking at nature and a green environment is good for the brain, also for your well-being. It's like looking at creation. God's made something beautiful. Look at it, enjoy it, take it in. Get in your prayer chair when you know this is the place where I connect with God. This is the place where I go every morning to just make sure that I ask him about the help I need for the day. You know, it's really important to be needy. I know that we often don't see that as a desired trait, needy people. But can I just say, God has made us to be needy, that we can never be complete and we could never actually enjoy all the things that God has for us without this recognition that there's more to life than us, that we need what he brings to completely fulfill us. And so prayer chair, that's a really important part of your environment. Now, I've got to say, because I'm a traveller, sometimes it's seat 14A on the plane is my prayer chair. I'm travelling, so I just need a space. And I recognise when I get on a plane and I look out the window, I use that as time just to really thank him for creation and talk to him about what I need for the day and for where I'm going and for the people I'm meeting with. So your chair can go with you. And some people literally just need to do something like this, you know, like put a certain hat on. So this is my prayer hat. You know, once your hat's on, it's like, all right, Lord, this is my time with you. Notice it's just a trigger. It doesn't really matter what it is, but you need to trigger yourself. This is controlling your environment so that you go to God more often than you currently do, making him a part of every day of your life. It's so funny because during COVID, I think I wore this hat nearly every single day. Every day I went out for a walk, and as long a walk as I could possibly do, I was allowed to do. The hat was the trigger for a conversation with God. find some triggers in your life that help you to find your prayer chair and find space. Because when you control the environment in your head, it starts to control the environment that you create for others. Okay, next one. Read a significant list of meaningful words. I mean, when have you last written a list of words? When have you actually said, these words affect the way I think? Now, on my bathroom mirror, I have 3 scriptures written in dark red lipstick. Yeah, ruined the lipstick, but it was so much fun writing on the mirror. It doesn't come off easily. So I read these every single day, multiple times. Every time I'm in the bathroom, that's what's on the mirror. And it's really helpful to have these scriptures right there in front of my face, because they are about being brave and courageous and bold and to do the things that are meaningful. Because it's really easy to stop doing things that matter and do things that just waste time. So I'm constantly trying to encourage myself with words. But I also have a list of words in my diary, on my phone, on the mirror, and also sometimes even on the glass wall near my desk, where I'm just reading these words. And I love words like replenish, refresh, refuel, refill. And so I've had a bit of a run on RE words, and it doesn't matter what words you love, but I know that if you read words that uplift you, make you feel good, the brain responds very quickly and you think more clearly, you feel more optimistic, you tend to work more effectively, and it's such a simple thing. So we can do this. All right, list 3 traits that you want to exemplify. Well, what are they? 3 traits that you want other people to see in your world. 3 traits you want to exemplify to your partner, as I lovingly gaze at my partner. 3 traits that you want to exemplify to your children. It's really good to stop and think, in this season, what are the traits that I want to exemplify? Now, one of them for me is honesty. I value honesty so high in my life that I don't want to fall into the habit of even telling like little lies, white lies, I think people call them, but they're still lies. Like, just to say the truth and get used to speaking the truth as a way of life. Because you'd be amazed what people justify and, oh, it will hurt them if I tell them the truth. No, I believe in love and tact. I mean, some things shouldn't be said. But can I say, if you want to control your environment, you've got to exemplify the values that really matter. And honesty for me is something that, look, I would tell my children, look, you will be punished for some of the mistakes you make, but far more you'll be punished for lying. Because we're all going to make mistakes, and sometimes we've just got to fess up. But lying is a whole other thing, because lying goes on and on and on. The truth hurts for a little while, and a lie continues to hurt you. Don't say today what you can't remember tomorrow. Like, it puts pressure on you. Think about this, the power of the truth. Jesus says you will know the truth and it will set you free. Just think about how the truth permeates your life, or where you need it to permeate your life, and allow it to be the overflow of who you are. And maybe give your loved ones permission to pick you up when you're not telling the truth, when you're omitting the truth. You know, like just telling half the information is not being honest. You've actually got to say things as they are. So that's quite a big challenge, isn't it? But it's worthy. Now, I want to talk to you about cleaning. I went out and bought 4 of these lately. Extra little brooms to sweep up the mess. So I've got one in all the spaces where there's lots of cleaning. But you know what I've discovered about cleaning? That if you just do 10 minutes at a time, you're far more motivated when you think you've got to do 4 hours. And I don't know about you, I have found that when you eat, there's always a mess. If we could only stop eating. It's not going to happen. If we could only stop wearing clothes that need washing. I mean, look, our lives are messy. But, you know, to have little solutions to control your environment sometimes is to say, all right, give myself 10 minutes and I'm just going to clean up that area. And that gives you energy. It gives you the capacity to do it quickly, and it gives you the satisfaction of a job done. And then you can do something else and then go, all right, later on, another 10 minutes. It also is a great habit to teach your kids. Like, pack up things. When you finish what you're doing, pack it up. Don't go on to the next thing. Haven't got permission until you've cleaned up. Do you know when you've dropped things all over the floor, and if you don't clean it up, guess what? Well, if you're lucky, the dog comes and licks it up. Otherwise, your children walk it right through your home, or you do too. And then you've got 10 times the work. So a little bit at a time makes a big difference. And I just would like you to think about the cleanup, not just in your home, but maybe the cleanup in your life, where there's things that you've done in the past and you've made a mess of a certain relationship or situation, and a cleanup would be an apology. That you just write an email, write a letter, make a phone call, and just say, I was just thinking about, and I just wanted to say how sorry I am for the way I treated you, or the mess I left things in, or something that I omitted to do, whatever it is. When you own responsibility for it and say it, oh my goodness, the burdens that get removed, and you stop justifying what you did, which also means if you're justifying bad behaviour from the past, you're more likely to continue it into the future. So when we own and admit, oh, I did the wrong thing, don't just do that, because then you just feel guilty. You know, it weighs on you. But when you apologise, it's off your shoulders. You can't decide whether someone will forgive you, but you can ask, will you forgive me? Some people would say that is the hardest line to say. Will you forgive me? 4 words. I think it's pretty hard to say, I need help. We all think that the 3 hardest words are, I love you. But no, when you're with people that are lovely, it's so easy. But I need help, and will you forgive me? Sometimes go together too. So we've got to get good at the phrases that pay. These are powerful phrases that clean up the past and set us free for the future. So where do you need to clean up? What could you do? And how about one thing a week, and start to feel the freedom of just letting go of old behaviours so that you've made room for new ones. Well, this is a good one. Remove 1 item of clothing from your wardrobe. Now, for some of you, your wardrobe, you keep it so sparse and clean. Please put up your hand if your wardrobe needs a clean out besides me. Yes. And my husband is always at me to say, get rid of some of that stuff. Sometimes I think that by keeping it, I'm going to recycle it. He's more right than I am. It's like he says, you put something new in, take something out. And someone said to me, it's really good to have all the coat hangers facing this way, like over the rack that you've worn, and anything you haven't worn, have the coat hanger facing the opposite direction. So you can see in your wardrobe what you wear and what you don't wear just by the coat hanger. Now, I love that idea, because some things take up extra space in our heads, like, what am I going to wear today? Oh, is that clothing? Because sometimes it's not ironed, it's not pressed, the button's missing, you haven't done something to it, so even though it's in your wardrobe, you're not going to wear it. All these aspects, they're great little things to help you to just get free, and also then you share. But don't wait to share, because I used to only give my clothes away when I could think of someone to give it to, and then it gets hanging around the house too long. So just pack it up in a nice box and give it to a service that can actually make sure your clothes are distributed for the benefit of others. It's such a joy, isn't it? I love getting something from the op shop that's a winning. You go, oh, that's great, and it's fresh, and it's new, and it's not new, and it's not fresh, but you can make it that way. Most of us need to think about just how we recycle what we've got in our homes. Most of us got more than we need. And when we clean up our environment, we clean up our well-being. Next one, creating a plan. Now, I'm not talking about a plan for your life, although I do think it's a great idea. Today, I'm talking about the tiny thing of creating a plan for the next day. So what we know is that if you will spend 5 to 10 minutes the night before writing a list of the things that need to be done tomorrow, you will be more effective tomorrow. You will sleep better because you've written the things that need to be done down. Now, can I just ask you not to get in the habit of allowing the list to be 50 items? You know, some people, they write the list and then they add to the list for the next day and they keep adding until they never did the last 3 days, and so now the list is impossible. You set yourself up to feel bad, which demotivates you, and often then you don't even go to item number 1. Write a short list of the essential things that need to be done and then the nice to do things, and see if you can't get that satisfaction of getting the key things off the list. Oh my goodness, planning is so effective for keeping the brain clear. Oh, this is a lovely one. You'll like this. Besides creating a plan for the next day, create a plan for your next holiday. Now, it doesn't even matter if the holiday is a year away. Do you realise that having something to look forward to is really important? It's, really a little bit like, we're sojourners on the planet. We're pilgrims passing through. It's why we do need to keep our mind and our heart on heaven and eternity and the longevity of life, because life can be fleeting, although some days seem to drag a lot and other days seem to fly. But this is called perspective. A holiday means that you're actually planning something that gives you space away from the routine. And that's always good, because it's hard to press the reset button and rethink through life if you don't take a break. And can I say that some people really do need a significant break, like a couple of weeks. They sleep the first week and then they might do fun things the second. But if that's you and you wait all year for that, that's probably not a really great habit, in the sense that you need to have a few things to look forward to each month. So, little things like, plan a day, a special day, to do something that refreshes you, refuels you, that's fun. It might be with a friend, it might not. Some mothers and fathers just need a day where there's nobody except them. A day with nothing required of them. In fact, they want no plan for that day. That's my favourite of all. And I know when I am falling apart, I say to my husband, I need a few days to do nothing. And even though the list might be long because we run our own business, I just stop and I walk away and I just go hang out with God. And sometimes I just walk. Sometimes I'll sleep. Sometimes I'll read a book. I have no idea what I'm going to do. And that's the point. No plan. The freedom of no plan. Because as parents, we've got lots of obligations and life's very much structured. And if you've got your own business, you can feel like you're forever tied to that. But we're not. We're not. At any stage we can stop. You know what? If you had a heart attack, you'd stop. And I really noticed that. I lost some friends through COVID, and they were not in this country. It was so sad. I understood that we shouldn't have lost them. It was too soon. And there's so much in life that we can't control. And when my friends lose babies, you'd be amazed how quickly a person can stop and do nothing. So don't think that you have to be busy all the time. You are putting far too much responsibility on your own shoulders. You're not responsible for everything. You're responsible for looking after yourself and making sure that you are got the energy and the well-being to be able to serve family and your job. All right, let's just finish off with a couple of last ones. Write 3 key goals. Just 3, not 23, because when you're feeling swamped or overwhelmed, 3 little goals can be just enough to go, oh, I can do that. I can do that. They might take a month, but you know what it's like? It's like, I'm just going to do that. And then you realise, oh, there's a few little steps towards that goal. I'm going to love this. I'm going to get excited about it. And then I might even write down the benefits. It's a good thing, isn't it? Do you know, I had a goal to get stronger in my arms. you know, at my stage in life, you get chicken wings. And I thought, well, I'm going to start doing some weights. And I just laughed at myself when I started to pick up the weights and started to work. And I thought, wow, I can do weights while I'm doing some other mindless things, pick up. And then I started to realise, I'm starting to feel stronger. And then I started to realise I was motivated to get some other parts of my body stronger. It's amazing when you start. Little goal. The steps not too big, small, simple and doable is my favourite instruction, so that you can succeed today and succeed tomorrow, and a little bit of progress. 3 simple goals. Can you write them down? Put them on your bathroom mirror? Yes, put them in your phone by all means, and put them on your computer. Put them on the fridge. Put them somewhere where you can see them often and see if they're meaningful for you, because that's the key. Don't write goals that are something for someone else. Write them for yourself. And here's my last little tip. Have a weekly plan for 7 simple meals. Now, some of you go, well, you don't even do the meals. I said, well, help. Do you realise that responsibility of feeding someone every day for years can get really overrated? It's hard. And meals are one of those things that we get such enjoyment from food that there should be some enjoyment in the prep, in the planning and in the cleanup. I've got to say that every person in your family needs a role when it comes to meals. They should be doing something to do with setting the table, clearing the table, cleaning up, putting away, chopping up, because the more you distribute the task, the more normal it is to make meals a family activity. And kids don't feel like they belong if they don't have chores and jobs, even though they complain. And some of the best conversations still happen while we're making meals and cleaning up meals, because we tend to talk while we work. And so this is a really important part of controlling the well-being in your environment. And yes, it does take more effort to give other people a job. I know you could do it yourself better, but that doesn't mean that the outcome is better. Everybody do a little bit. And I've got to say, when my husband started cooking meals during the COVID-19 period, oh my goodness, I was celebrating. And he discovered, maybe he knew all along, he was a great cook. And I'm a great cleaner-upper. And we were laughing about the fact that a little role reversal at times is a really good thing to try. And we have greater appreciation for each other. I often think about how God looks down on us and looks what we complain about, looks at what we do well, and all he's saying is, invite me into everything. Ask me to play a part in every small detail of your lives. Pray continually. Keep my words at the front of your mind so you can share truth and wisdom with your children and friends. Ensure that if God is number one, oh my goodness, you will definitely control the environment better, and you'll make a beautiful atmosphere for other people to live in. I hope you make the next month a really good month. See ya. The important part of controlling the well-being in your environment. And yes, it does take more effort to give other people a job. I know you could do it yourself better, but that doesn't mean that the outcome is better. Everybody do a little bit. And I've got to say, when my husband started cooking meals during the COVID-19 period, oh my goodness, I was celebrating. And he discovered, maybe he knew all along, he was a great cook. And I'm a great cleaner-upper. And we were laughing about the fact that a little role reversal at times is a really good thing to try. And we have greater appreciation for each other. I often think about how God looks down on us and looks what we complain about, looks at what we do well, and all he's saying is, invite me into everything. Ask me to play a part in every small detail of your lives. Pray continually. Keep my words at the front of your mind so you can share truth and wisdom with your children and friends. Ensure that if God is number one, oh my goodness, you will definitely control the environment better and you'll make a beautiful atmosphere for other people to live in. Hope you make the next month a really good month. See ya.